Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October the 24th, 2019. It is currently 9:41 a.m. Central Time. Well, let me begin this live broadcast by asking you a question. I said it's Thursday. Is it really Thursday? Do you believe it's Thursday? Do you feel like it's Thursday? Do you identify with Thursday? Or in your mind, have you decided that it's actually Friday? That it's actually Saturday? Have you decided to call into work today and tell your boss, you know what? I know it's Thursday, but I don't really feel like it's Thursday. I just don't identify with it being Thursday. I feel like it's Saturday, so I won't be to work today or tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. Well, whatever Monday I think it is. Obviously, that sounds foolish. Obviously, that sounds like I'm, being ridiculous. And in a way, I am. But this is going to be an important principle, and I want you to think about this. And I want to just throw that out there because we all believe that there's certain things that you can't say, certain things you can't do because it's just ridiculous. Or let me say it this way. There are certain things you can't do. There are certain things you can't say because people would say you're denying reality. You're living in a dream world. My science teacher in high school, I would always say something ridiculous like, hey, let's just go home now, or can't we go home now, or can I skip the homework? And she would always be like, oh, you dreamer. Oh, you dreamer. That's what she would always say to me. Because she would be like, you're denying reality. You're living in a dream world. No, we're not leaving school early today. No, yes, you do have to do your homework. And if you don't think you have to do your homework, and if you think we're leaving school today, or if you think we're not doing anything today, you're a dreamer. You need to wake up and live in reality. But something has changed in society. Something has drastically changed in society, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to have an example of how this change in society is being played out in a real way, impacting real people, in fact, impacting a 7-year-old. So this is an important live broadcast. So let's just get some of the basic details out of the way so that people listening know what's going on. This is a live broadcast for the VBC 66 app. If you hear a recording of this live broadcast, please do me a favor. Go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and, download the VBC 66 app. It's absolutely free. We just want you to use it. So please get the app. Then you can listen to the live broadcast when they're actually live. And you can listen to everything else that we upload and everything else that we post. A new version of the VBC 66 app will be coming soon. Hopefully within the next couple of days, if not the next week. The company that we have our app through, they merged with a bigger company. And so there's going to be changes coming to the app. That should be good news for those who use the app. I think it will be an improvement. Bad news for us because now we go from $60 a month to $130 a month to have our app. But Hopefully that won't be a problem and we can move forward. But the main thing is it obviously cost us to have the app. So please use the app and share it with as many people as possible. But please get it. And I think you'll find the app to be useful and you'll have plenty of things there. All right. Now, so there's our introductory stuff that gets it out of the way and just to let everybody know what's going on. So let's jump in today. Let's jump in on this Thursday, October the 24th, 2019, 9:45 a.m. It's a cold, rainy morning here in West Texas, and the weather is going to fit this story, all right? Because the weather is kind of gloomy. Some would even call the weather kind of depressing looking. And this story that we're going to be talking about today is depressing. And it's really not the story that's depressing. And when I used to do the News in Focus program, and I still could do that today, but we could talk about that forever. But whenever I talk about news stories or doing any recordings in regards to news stories, I always have a different approach than most people. Most people will read a story react to the story as either, in a positive way or a negative way. They will criticize or something. I tend to look at the story and try to step back and try to look at it from a different perspective and try to look at it from a broader view, right? Not to just focus in on the story, but to focus in on the underlying principles that are behind the story. So before we get to the news story itself, we need to back up and lay down those foundational principles that I think set up this news story. And these principles are depressing, but I don't think anyone can deny what is happening in our society. And the story will prove what what I am going to tell you is happening in society is actually happening. All right. Now, this is very important. There was a time in our society that there was a battle going on, a war that was raging. And this war was a theological war, a philosophical war. And the war went something like this. There is absolute truth. And others were arguing, no, truth is relative. So it was a battle between relativism and the idea of absolute truth. Now, within Christianity, obviously, we argued for absolute truth. I mean, that Christianity claims to be true. We claim that the Word of God was true. The Word of God contained truth, and there was absolute truth, and that truth applied to theological principles. It applied to morality, that there was absolute right, there was absolute wrong, there was absolute truth about God, there was absolute truth about sin, there was absolute truth about salvation, that this was a major principle within Christianity. And this fight obviously was with those in society who are arguing that truth was relative. And we begin to see society kind of embrace a relativistic view of morality, a relativistic view to truth. There is no absolute truth. Obviously, that's contradictory, because to say there's no absolute truth would require your statement to be absolutely true. But so this battle raged on. There were videos made within the Christian world, DVDs. There were sermons preached, and there was society is losing their mind. They are denying absolute truth. What is truth became kind of the motto of society. What is truth? That's just your interpretation of truth. I have my interpretation of truth, and you can have your truth. I can have my truth. Let's just get along. And that kind of became the way society began to show up. And this idea of relativism began to show up in popular media, movies, TV shows. And it's just the way society started to go. And people warned about it and preached about it and lots of discussion about it. Well, what has happened is we've had a change in society. We've had a change in society, all right? We have now moved away from a battle over truth and whether truth is absolute or whether there is no absolute truth. We have now transitioned from a battle of truth to a battle of reality. What is real? What is reality? Your reality may be different than my reality. I can have my reality. Oh, and we're taking it even a step further in some parts of society. I have my reality, and what my reality is, you must go along with. You must speak as if my reality is reality. You can't have your reality, because if your reality contradicts my reality, then you are offensive and you're guilty of hate speech and you're a bigot. Now, you know where I'm headed with this, right? We live in a society now that someone born a male, they are born a male. They're born a male. You can look at them physically and you're like, yes, that is a male. And you can test them genetically and you're like, yes, they have the genetic markers that clearly demonstrate they are a male. There's no question. They look like a male. They have the physical anatomy of a male. They have the genetics of a male. If we were to test them, it would be a male. So they're a male. There's no question. But in our society today, that male at any point can decide, you know what? I'm not a male. I'm not a guy. I'm not a boy. I'm not this. I identify as a girl. And then we're supposed to come along and say, oh, that's how you identify? Well, let us conform to that. Let us confirm it in your mind. We will now refer to you as a she. We will now refer to you as a her. We will refer to you by any pronoun you want. We will refer to you by the pronouns of they, their, sie, zir, all the new pronouns that are coming out. And we will go with your pronoun. You tell us the pronoun you want, and we'll use the pronoun you want. You identify the way you want, and we go along with your view of reality. Now, I want you to understand just how crazy that is. That's insane. We would not allow that in any other area of society. Like I started with the little, foolish, it sounded foolish, my little foolish illustration, right? Where, hey, what day is it? Do you feel like it's Thursday? Do you identify as it's Thursday? You don't? Call your boss and say, I don't identify that it's Thursday. I don't feel like it's Thursday. I feel like it's Saturday. I'm not coming to work today, and I'm not coming to work tomorrow. I'm going to start my weekend now. And we would say, you can't do that because what you feel, what you think does not conform to reality. You must conform to reality. Reality doesn't change for you. But in certain areas now, the battle is not even about absolute truth anymore. It's about reality. You get to determine what is real for you. What you feel reality is, how you identify to reality, becomes the reality everyone else must go along with. There would have been a time that if a guy said, no, I think I'm a girl, you would be like, oh, wow. Okay. Hey, I love you, man, but we need to talk. Okay. You see, if we do a test, genetically, it's gonna prove you're a male. And if we look at your anatomy, you're a male. There's no question here. Well, I don't feel like a male. Okay. Well, all right. When your feelings don't conform to reality, we usually try to help you see reality for what it is and then try to figure out how to adapt and handle reality. I am Caucasian. I am white. If I start walking around wanting everyone to refer to me as a black man, want to be identified as black because I don't identify as white, people would say that's crazy. You're white. No, but I don't identify that. How far do you take? I don't identify as a human being. I identify as a dog. I mean, like, how far do you take it? Now, whenever you say that, people are like, okay, now you're taking it too far. You're being ridiculous. No. At one point, I probably would have said, yeah, I think people are taking it too far. We've reached the point in society that this is a battle of reality. This is a battle against reality. That's what we need to see. This is not an issue about transgenderism. This is not an issue about homosexuality. This is an issue it's a battle about reality. What is there a reality? And should we conform ourselves to that reality, or can we create our own reality and then force everyone else to play along? It's like a little kid going into their parents' closet, putting on some outfits, dressing up, come walking into the living room. The shoes are too big, the clothes are too big. And it's like, okay, I'm in charge. Here's what you got to do. Now, it's basically people are playing dress up, and then we have to go along and just like you would with your kid. Oh, okay, mom, okay, dad. What do you want me to do? Because they're playing like their mom and dad, and you're going to go along with it. Because you're playing along and letting them go along with their imagination. Now, if they continue to do that as they get older, you have to say, hey, little Johnny, okay, time to grow up. Okay, we can't continue to play anymore. That's not reality. Well, there comes a point when people are playing dress up, pretending to be something they are not, and it's clearly reality that they are not that thing based off their anatomy and based off, genetics. There comes a point, hey, we're not going to go along anymore with you. Okay, we're going to love you. We're care for you. We're here to help you. But I can't continue to play along with your little game. Now, for some reason, that's controversial in 2019. That's literally considered almost a hate crime. This is a battle for reality. I want everyone to say that this is a battle for reality. Don't make it about transgenderism. You have to say, wait, we need to discuss, is there a reality that is binding upon all of us, or does everyone get to create their own reality and then everyone else must adhere to your reality, which is just insane. Because if you can create your reality, can't I create my reality? Because in my reality, someone who has the anatomy of a male or a female and has the genetic markers, and you've got the chromosome, you've got the chromosomes that demonstrate you're a male or female, and they're not born with any of the issues where some people are born with sexual parts of both male and female. You've got some of those situations, or there's some type of situation that occurs at birth. We're not talking about those extreme examples like that. We're talking a person born with the right anatomy, got the genetic markers, everything looks that way. That's what we're talking about. There's always those exceptions, and those situations are difficult. Okay, that we're not talking about that. When a person has what clearly demonstrates what they are, that's what reality is. If my reality is they are a male, you're a male, that's reality, and your reality is no, I'm not a male, I'm a female, whose reality wins? Because what you're saying is I have to conform to your reality, but you don't have to conform to my reality. And in many places of business and in many situations in society, hey, even in some college campuses, please tell us what pronoun you would like to be referred to as. Okay, I'll refer to you as she, her, okay. Even though you're 300 pounds and have a beard, I'll refer to you any way you want. Why? Education should be trying to teach them what reality is. All right. So, okay, we could talk about that all day. You get the idea. Now, there's my foundational principle. We went from a battle against truth in society, and then it transitioned into a battle against reality. We're now fighting for reality. This is not even about Christianity. This is not about the Bible. This is not about morality. This is about reality. The whole argument has changed. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Well, here we go. Let me pull up this news article. This is happening right here in the state of Texas. Of all the states for this to happen, and you wouldn't think it would be Texas, but this is how far it's gone in society. A Texas jury rules against a divorced dad who's trying to stop his 7-year-old son's gender transition. You have a 7-year-old who's starting the process of a gender transition. 7 years old. Now I want you to just stop right there. Before we even get into the article, I want you to really consider a 7-year-old. Can a 7-year-old even process gender transition? Can a 7-year-old even really grasp what that even ultimately means? We all know this. The 7-year-old has no true grasp of living to be 40, 50, 60, 70. The 7-year-old has no true grasp of time, of life, of consequences. The 7-year-old thinks about today and that's it. Time is a concept they can't even comprehend. And decisions are going to be made in regards to their gender that will not impact their Thursday, but will impact the rest of their lives. Now, what kind of society would even think about supporting such an idea? What kind of society, where has society gone when you're like, hey, that 7-year-old wants to transition, we're going to do it. And the parent thinks the child needs to transition and that we should support it. Wait, slow down. So you have a dad, now it's a divorced dad, and the dad is like, wait. My son does not need to go through gender transition. And the jury's like, sorry, you're wrong. Now we're going to have courts make the decision. This is a crazy story. Let's read a little bit of this. Now the mom's name, I don't know how to pronounce the mom's name, so when I mess it completely up, I apologize. Right? So here's the headline. This comes from the NewYorkPost.com. It was posted today. I've had lots of conversations in regards to this story. It really bothers me. Here we go. Texas jury rules against divorced dad trying to stop 7-year-old son's gender transition. Jeffrey Younger and his son, James, and they're shown in the photograph above in the article. So Jeffrey Younger is the father, and his son's name is James. So there's the father, and we'll get to the mother in a minute. All right. A Texas jury has ruled against a dad seeking custody of his twin 7-year-old sons in his attempt to stop one of the boys from transitioning his gender. The Dallas panel denied Jeffrey Younger's petition for sole custody of sons, Jude and James, which came as the boy's mom is pushing for James to begin hormone replacement therapy. The mom wants him to begin hormone replacement therapy, and he's 7. The mom, who is a pediatrician, which is kind of disturbing, her name is Anne, and the only way I know how to pronounce this is Georgulas. 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 So Anne Georgulas contends that James is transgender, likes wearing dresses, and prefers to be identified as Luna. So you got a 7-year-old, supposedly likes to wear dresses, wants everyone to refer to him as Luna, and she believes he's transgender and he's going through it. Now remember, he is 7 years old. There's probably days he believes he's Spider-Man. There's probably days he believes he's all kinds of things. Again, do we allow him to continue to play like he's Spider-Man or name any other character? Or do we let him play time, and then we come in, okay, playtime's over, now get back? Or do we say, okay, nope, you're really Spider-Man, go climb up the side of that building and go stop criminals? No, we don't play. There's a point where we don't play along anymore. So maybe he's wearing dresses or he wants everyone to call him Luna. At some point, you're like, okay, that's not your name. Your name's not Luna. And no, you're not a girl. You're a boy. Okay. At what point, when does the parent have to try to get the child to act according to reality? Or when is the parent bound by playing along with what the child wants you to play along with? Remember, he's 7. He's not 17. He is 7. All right. Let's get back to the story. This story is just crazy. Okay, so the mom, the pediatrician, Anne Georgulas, contends that James is transgender, likes wearing dresses, and prefers to be identified as Luna. But at stake, potentially, is not just James' identity in the here and now, but his health down the line. Yeah, you think? What at stake is his future. What at stake is not just the here and the now. We're talking the rest of the kid's entire life is at stake. Hormone therapy can cause infertility, as well as carrying potential health risk ranging from hair loss to blood clots, according to medical professionals. You think it could cause all of those problems when you take a boy who's physically a boy genetically and according to his anatomy, and you start trying to change his entire chemical makeup in his body, his hormones and everything? You're going to try to force his body to look like a female and to be female? Do you think there could be some health problems with that? You're literally going against what the body is. You're trying to make it into something it isn't. You're going against reality. They continue. Georgulas, the mother, has secured a letter of recommendation for James to receive a full psychological assessment for gender dysphoria and potentially take hormone blockers, the Washington Examiner reported. It's a move that Younger strongly opposes. All right. Now, we can get into a discussion here. The mom looks like she wants him to receive a full psychological assessment. I'm all for that. Okay, I think he probably should receive a full psychological assessment. All right. Because, to me, something's going on. But I think we could stop there and go, wait a minute. Here's the thing. Before we even get him onto the quote unquote the psychiatrist's couch and he sits there, before he gets a psychological exam, maybe we just all back off and let the 7-year-old be a 7-year-old and see where it goes. I mean, do we need to force some kind of decision now when he's 7? Can we at least wait till he's 13? 14? Can we give him some time? Right? But we gotta force this decision now. We gotta force this now. Maybe the father just says, maybe we should just back off. Maybe we should. Maybe that's a good argument. Who knows? The whole thing is just crazy. The battle landed in the courts when Georgilus filed suit to restrict her ex-husband's contact with the kids, require that he refer to James as Luna. Here you go. Hey, you've got to refer to your son as Luna. You have to. No, I don't. Okay. Why do I have to? He's 7. Right? And keep the boy away from those who refuse to do the same. And so here's what the mom wants to do. He wants to be Luna. Everyone has to refer to him as Luna, and anyone who will not, the kid should be kept away from. So here is, you put him in a bubble where his delusion is reinforced. And I know I say delusion and that offends some people, but I'm sorry. He's 7. He's 7. If you start walking around, you will refer to me as Peter Parker, right? Because no one can know my true identity as Spider-Man. Give me a break, kid. I'll play along with you during playtime, but when playtime's over, you're no longer Peter Parker, okay? Right? That's okay. Right. The whole situation is crazy. All right. The article continues. Younger responded by petitioning the court to scale custody of the boys, with expert witnesses testifying that James' identity is still very much in flux. Yeah, I would think at 7, his identity is still very much in flux, okay? There's still some fluidity in his thinking, said Dr. Benjamin Albritton, according to the Examiner. Neither child appears to be depressed, anxious, or aggressive. James gave no indications of other significant psychological difficulties. So he's already been examined, I guess, by a psychiatrist, it sounds like. Witnesses on Younger's behalf included friends who testified that James always goes by James and opts for boys' clothing whenever he's in the care of his father, even when girls' clothing is available, according to the Texan. So according to one source and to witnesses, when he's with his father, he's James and he doesn't want to wear girls' clothes. So see, now we have parental involvement, parent trying to push an agenda. Maybe what this kid needs is to be taken away from both parents. Okay, maybe he needs to a stable environment. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, you got parents involved now, and everyone has their own agenda. Well, in the meantime, the kid's caught in a battle of what is real and what do my parents want to be real. The testimony was in support of Younger's contention that any desires James may have to be a girl are not his own, but a product of his mother's influence. The jury on Monday ultimately sided with the mother, paving the way for her to pursue a possible transition for James. There you have it. I mean, there's our society. There is our society in a nutshell. You see, the battle for reality has now reached a point where a 7-year-old's entire future could be altered because of parental influence trying to go along with this idea, hey, you're not really a boy, you're a girl. Or a possible confused kid, because I don't know everything that's truly going on behind the scenes here, so I cannot speak as an expert, but possibly a young kid who's a little confused, and we're gonna confirm his confusion and say, hey, you don't believe you're a boy? Well, guess what? You don't have to be a boy, because maybe you're not really a boy. Maybe you're really a girl, and you're so really a girl that we're going to go through all these lifelong medical treatments and all of these, these horrible things that are going to happen to your body to try to confirm in your mind that you really are a girl. Now, here's a clue, pediatricians. Here's a clue, doctors. If you have to start removing parts of the body and placing other hormones and other things into the body and start trying to cut and add things to the body that were not there, that's a pretty good sign. That's a pretty good sign that that's not who they really were. Because if they really were, if he was really a girl, there would not be any necessary requirements to start cutting, changing, and adding hormone therapy. and blocking different things. You wouldn't have to do anything. But because you have to do this, you're changing reality to dress up. And a 7-year-old boy is caught in, and you had a jury ruled for the mom. Now, of course, I understand how it works on a jury. There's certain legal requirements someone have to be met. And even if you think the mom's crazy and nuts, if the way the law is written and the way it's explained, sometimes you got to go along with the person you don't like to go along with because burden of proof is not met or whatever the requirements for that particular case was. I didn't hear the jury instructions and didn't hear how it was supposed to work. But that's a separate situation. The reality is, wait, is there such thing as a reality? The reality is we have a little boy who's now caught in the middle of a battle between two parents. And what is at stake is the boy's future. And what is at stake is reality. That is what is at stake in this particular case. And that is what is at stake for society. This is no longer a battle between Republican and Democrat. This is no longer a battle between Christian and non-Christian. This is a battle between those of us who believe there is a reality and those people who believe reality is whatever you want it to be. And whatever you want it to be, everyone else is bound to go along with it. It's a frightening time in society. All right, and I want to end with this. I was looking right before I decided to go live for my morning devotional. I pulled up the historical lectionary, and I looked at today's gospel reading. Luke chapter 12. Let's look at Luke chapter 12. We'll start in verse 49. Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I'm going to read from the translation that's on my Kindle. I usually use the King James, but because of the weather outside, my study is extremely dark, and I don't think I can even read, even with the light on. One of the light bulbs went out. So I think I could probably read from the King James. We'll give it a shot. Here we go. Luke chapter 12. I kind of moved the Bible, so there we go. I can see it. Luke chapter 12, let's start in verse 49. Luke chapter 12, verse 49. Jesus says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I strengthened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? Now that's an interesting phrase. Suppose that I've come to give peace on the earth? It's a question mark there. I tell you nay, but rather division. Jesus saying, you think I've come to bring peace on the earth? No, I've come to bring division. That's a shocking message in 2019. Many churches would never even think of Jesus coming to be someone who brings division. Verse 52, for from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided against 3, against 2, and 2 against 3. From henceforth, there's going to be division in a house. People are going to be divided with one another. The father shall be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Jesus saying, I've come to bring a division. I've come to bring basically a sword. I've come to separate, divide. And it's going to be mother against father, father against mother, mother against son, son against mother, daughter against... And it's going to be a division. And he's speaking of the family unit. There's going to be division within the family. Now, one would argue the division amongst the family would, at one point, and we would have argued that that's because we're going to have the truth versus the error. That's what's going to cause the division. The truth about God, the truth about Christ, the truth of the scriptures versus those who reject the truth of scripture. But we've entered a new phase in 2019. It's no longer going to be a battle over the truth of scripture. What is going to divide families now is a battle over the truth of reality. In Texas, right now as you listen to this, there's a 7-year-old boy. You have 2 parents. The mom believes the boy is transgender and everyone should refer to him as Luna, even though his name is James. We should call him or her, we should refer to her as Luna. She should only be around people who will go along with that. Let him wear women's clothes and everyone must play along. Oh, hi, little Luna. How are you doing today? All right, there's the girls' bathroom. You go along. Okay, all right. Hey, Luna, it's time to play with the other girls, right? We have to play along with that. And you have a father going, whoa, time out. Luna is actually James. James, I don't think really thinks he's Luna. And James seems to be more than happy to wear boy clothes and be addressed as James. I think we should treat him and now it's a fight. This is about reality. Again, it's not about Christianity. It's not about even the Bible. It is about reality. We have to convince. This is evangelism in 2019. Excuse me. Do you believe in reality? Right? Okay. Let's discuss reality. Okay, you do believe there is reality. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now let's move from reality. Do you believe in truth? Oh, okay. So you do believe in truth. All right. Let me then offer my proposition. Christianity is true. Jesus Christ is the eternal Son of God who took upon human flesh, who died for our sins, was buried and rose again, and is coming to judge the living and the dead. Okay, that's my proposition. But I have to first get them to agree that there is reality. I have to first get them to agree that there is truth. Then I can offer my idea of what Christianity is. That is literally evangelism in 2019. And many people are like, who cares? Yeah, you better care. Because I don't know how a society continues when a society no longer believes in reality. All right, we'll stop right there. A live broadcast for the VBC 66 app on this Thursday, October the 24th, 2019. I hope this went well. If there was any sounds in the background, even though it's raining, still trying to do some construction work out behind my house, and sometimes it gets a little loud. I apologize. My dog did a good job. He stayed quiet the whole time. At one point, he looked up and he was ready to start barking his head off, but I gave him that look and he just laid back down. And so, the dog understood reality. Okay, the dog understood the reality was, my look was, I wasn't going to be pleased if he started barking. So that's, I'm going to take this conversation and apply it to everything today. So, but thank you for listening. Please feel free to contact me at newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. Please get the VBC 66 app. It's absolutely free. And, give us some thought today. There's a division coming, and it's going to be between those who believe in reality and those who do not. You may not completely agree with my assessment here, but I'm telling you, that's where society is. It's no longer a battle for truth. It's a battle for reality, and it's crazy that this is where things have gotten. It's absolutely crazy. And we could talk about how this problem is showing up in all parts of society. But just remember, this little boy named James. Please pray for him. Please pray for him. Look, I know we'll have people from all walks of life listening to this. And for those who are like, I believe in transgender, LGBTQ, and I don't care about this idea of reality. If someone wants to identify as a girl, then I'm all for it. Okay. Just please hear me out, and I'll end with this. Can you at least take a second and think about this? People may believe they know what the 7-year-old feels and what the 7-year-old thinks. But can we agree that 7-year-olds change their minds about everything? Can we agree that a 7-year-old doesn't have any true understanding of the consequences of a decision made today? 7-year-olds are not walking around going, I better make this decision today because 20 years from now, it could affect me. Even high school students don't think that way. If you have high school students who are like, you know what, I don't care about this class, I don't care about this, not realizing how that could have profound impact on their future. Even high school students still don't completely comprehend sometimes the future ramifications of a current act. There's no way a 7-year-old can even be prepared for this. No 7-year-old should go through hormone therapy replacement. No 7-year-old, no 8-year-old, no 9-year-old, no 10-year-old. No, wait till you're 18. Wait till you're 18. Now you're legally an adult. Now you can do whatever you want to your body with future ramifications. But let's at least get them to 18. Let's not do this to them. Please, please do not support children going through this. It's just not right. These are life-changing, life-altering ramifications with major health implications. You're just destroying the body. And who knows, psychological damage. Just wait and just say, look, I'm sorry that you're confused right now. We'll be here to help you through this. But, look, let's go. We'll get a genetic test and show you. See, you are a male. See, you got these chromosomes. Wait, see, your anatomy. You are a boy. If you continue to struggle with this, we'll work through you and work through and we'll help support you as we go through. But in the meantime, we don't want to destroy your future, because at some point everything could change for you. I think that's fair. I don't think that's a radical approach. But please, for those who are Christians, pray for James. Pray that somehow he can be protected, and somehow his parents will stop this is where parents don't need to fight each other. Parents need to come to be unified for what's best for the child, not what's best for their agenda. And James is not the only one who's been caught in these kind of battles, but it's the most recent happening here in the state of Texas. All right. Have a great day. Please pray for our world. It needs it. All right. There is chaos. There are protests all over the world right now. Violence. It just seems there's a little bit of this feeling that the world's coming unfrayed. Okay. Like there's a string, like on a garment, and you start pulling the string and it's like it's all going to come apart. It just feels like the world's about to come unglued. And at different times in history that happens. Doesn't mean anything horrible is going to happen, but it just got this feeling that, you got stuff going on in Hong Kong, Ukraine. You got stuff going. I can't even name all the countries right now where you've got a major violent protest happening. A lot of crazy stuff. So just be praying for our society. All right. Thank you for listening to this live broadcast. You can email me at newsif@yahoo.com. Thank you. God bless. Have a great day.